What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dude Ranch DIY. My name is Jake.
And I'm Chris.
I just noticed we're rocking the orange with the blue.
Oh yeah,
we look good.
Represent.
Patty and Jeff. Check this out. We are out here in the wood yard. It is a gorgeous day. It's like 56 degrees, 57, yeah. Like
t-shirt weather, baby.
Chris in a t-shirt, yeah. So we're out here in the wood yard. We got a bunch of oak cut up and plenty more to keep cutting. If you saw the last video, yeah, I guess the last video and the video before that, Chris and I have been trying to find that sweet spot underneath the Eastonmade 2228 conveyor here, doing this whole 4-tote thing. And we got a lot of great suggestions after that video with people, you know, suggesting ways in which that we could keep the totes like in a unified spot and consistently put them in that sweet spot once we find it. People were suggesting railroad ties. People were suggesting that we make funnels or extension pieces off the grizzly bars. And while all those things are good ideas, we like to keep it real simple here, don't we?
Super simple.
At least sometimes. Other times we really overcomplicate things. But I think we did a good job in keeping things simple here, at least for the time being. We got some stakes, spray painted them orange, and we got them on all 4 corners lined up with the outermost, you know, post of the tote on all 4 corners. I don't know if you could see that over there. And then we got it all centered up with the center of the conveyor. And in that last video that I split into, I noticed that the pile of wood was kind of, it wasn't on the 4 corners. It was like right here, like in between these 2 posts. So it was a little, you know, back. So to compensate for that, you could see where I had spray painted orange where those totes were before I moved them. And we just shuffled these back. I'd say that's a good, you know, probably like 8 inches or so. Now that might be too much, but the beauty of this setup is that we can kind of, you know, play with it and just move the stakes to the appropriate location once we find it. What do you think?
Gotta try it.
Got yeah. You barely got that sentence out.
No, words are not my strong suit.
Okay, well, we're gonna fire up the machine and we're gonna get going here, and we're gonna see if this is the sweet spot.
Like it's doing the right thing. It's hitting the rip right in the middle of the 4 totes, more or less, and it's just kind of figuring out where it wants to go. Once it fills up these 2 back totes, I think it's not going to have any problem filling up the 2 front totes. This might be the money spot right here. is working out pretty awesome. We did move our pins just a few inches. We thought we kind of overshot it before, and before the totes got too full, we moved them by hand. But look how awesome this is filling up. Nice and even, great big stack in the middle, right in the middle. You know, all 4 of these totes are relatively even. This is great. This might be the spot. I know I said that before, but this one might actually be it.
Okay, this is looking pretty good. What do you think, Chris?
I think it's filling up great. Really even. Not a lot that's actually like sitting on top of the totes themselves, and it's just kind of a nice little waterfall effect going on.
Yeah, it's looking really good. It started to build up in the back there, and then it started to transfer the pile this way, like closer to the grizzly bars. But I think it's looking really good. I mean, this, for all intents and purposes, is a very successful foursome, I'd say. We got, you know, all 4 totes here evenly, for the most part, filled up. Chris is gonna pull some of this back. Very, you know, it's very easy to do this because it's all up above the totes. You can see he's just kind of throwing it in. And we were able to do this relatively quickly, despite the fact that, you know, we were running the drone and moving cameras around and stuff like that. So I think it's safe to say that we're probably gonna leave these stakes where they are. Maybe we'll try and get something, you know, maybe some rebar or something really long. But the thing that I like about the stakes is that Chris and I can come in and lift the totes up and place them where they need to be, because the stakes are pretty small. And you know, if we had big railroad ties, it would make it harder to get up closer to the totes. I mean, you would have to stand on the railroad ties, I guess, to then be able to move the wood around, which would bring you up a little higher. So maybe the railroad ties is a good idea. But I don't have railroad ties right now, so this was kind of like a proof of concept thing here. I'm gonna split up a little bit more to top these puppies off, and then we'll talk and check back in a little bit. All right, well, I think it's safe to say that we found the sweet spot.
Yeah, so I think it's a sweet spot for this setup with 4 tall totes.
4 tall totes, right.
I'm curious with 4 small totes, or a mixture of the two, if they're gonna drop in the same center sweet spot that they do for this.
I mean, because the small totes still have the same footprint, but they're a little lower.
Yeah.
So
the wood might be going farther
back. Yeah. Well, so that's something to keep in mind. I think generally though, like, this is pretty close.
Yeah.
And if we have some, you know, tall totes and small totes mixed together, we keep the talls closer, we keep the smalls this way, farther away. And you know, we have enough totes where we're luckily able to kind of like pick and choose, I think. But I'd say that this was probably the least amount of handling that we've had to do thus far with this 4 tote method.
Yeah, I only moved the cone of wood one time to level it out, and then there at the end when we were just trying to top off each tote, I did it twice.
Got up on top and kind of spread it all around.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And we did this, guys, when we actually started splitting. I know we said we were at 70 hours exactly. When I turned on the machine, we started splitting at 71. Oh yes, we were at 71 hours.
Yeah.
And we started at 71.1 and we ended just now at 72.1. So even with all the filming, and there were times where I wasn't splitting, you know, I was operating the drone and stuff, we were able to get this done, 4 totes, 4 large totes, mind you, in exactly an hour. Well, probably under it, you know, if you account for the filming and stuff, which is pretty good. So I think, thank you for all the suggestions that you guys laid out for us as far as different ideas and stuff. We will take those into consideration. We're always trying to evolve. You know, I'm sure other people will chime in on this video and give us some more feedback, but we might have, you don't want to tell your wife, and I don't want to tell mine, but we might have mastered the foursome. I think we just had our first, I don't know if, I've never had a foursome.
Neither have I.
We just had a foursome, buddy.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
High five, buddy.
Big foursome. Boom. So with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap it up. It's starting to get dark here, but we are pushing 5:30. So the days are getting longer. It's getting warmer. Spring is around the corner. So we're excited. We have a lot of really exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Things coming up in the extremely near future. We're not going to give it away, but if you guys are just tuning in or you haven't subscribed yet, I know everybody says it, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but click that subscribe button or at least check back in like the next month to couple weeks or so, because we're going to have some pretty cool things, and I think 2024 is going to be a good year. So we'll leave it at that. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so, click that subscribe button. Questions, comments, feedback, throw it down in that comment section. But for now, I'm Jake.
And I'm Chris.
This is Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks for watching. We'll see you here next time.